Every year, around December, there's a certain celebration that also celebrates a particular plant that has a leaf shape, the holly. But there is an Australian native holly which I think deserves more attention, and I've got it growing here in my yard. But look at the flowers. They are absolutely stunning. What is the plant? Well, it's Graptophyllum ilicifolium, and it gets that name because the foliage has the characteristic shape and form of a holly bush, which is those spiky little things on the edges. Now, luckily, this one is not as prickly on your fingers, and it's a great, hardy, tough plant. Now, this species, Graptophyllum ilicifolium, is native to the Mackay area of Queensland. Naturally, it grows to around about the 3 to 5 metre range, but you can keep it pruned down to a shrub. So 2 to 3 metres, I think, is the perfect height in the home garden. Now, I've let mine grow to its natural full height. So it's, I think, probably now about 3.5 to 4 metres. And it is fairly open in the middle, but I like it because it has become habitat for birds, so they sit in it, and I have noticed nests in it in the past. Also, these flowers are really good for nectar holding for the nectar-seeking birds, so it does multiple purposes in my yard. Plus, I get to look at this from the back deck, which is a really good bonus, I think. This is a vulnerable species, which means it is at threat in its natural habitat. So the more that we can grow it, preserve it, and cultivate it, the more we help in the conservation of this species. There's also another second species to be aware of, Graptophyllum excelsum, but the leaves are quite different. They're not as broad, not as prickly, tend to be more kind of lineal or needle-like in shape. There are hybrids between both of these, and the cultivars, I think, are absolutely the best of both. And I think this is a natural cross hybrid that happened in someone's garden. I was just lucky enough to score all their seedlings, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops. Now, this is the main one in my yard. I've got another one in the back, and its flowers are a little bit more pink rather than this fuchsia color. What else should I talk about? Well, you can prune it to a hedge. I don't prune it. I've pruned it twice in the history. This has been in the ground for probably 8 years. Fertilizer, if you want to maximize the growth and the habit and the flowers, yes, do fertilize it. But I haven't. Watering it during dry periods is beneficial, but it's from Mackay, which has extended long dry season than a very wet summer. So if you can replicate or mimic that, you'll end up with a really good plant. But in my property, I've placed it on the side of a hill. I don't apply any additional watering. I don't think I've fertilized it for the last 5 years. And I've pruned it twice over the years it's been here. And it is doing exceptionally well with a wonderful floral display right now at this time of year. So if you are looking for some interesting natives, check out the Graptophyllum ilicifolium, the holly, and the Graptophyllum excelsum. I'm not too sure what common name that one is, but probably also native holly, as an option for your garden. If you love pink, if you like fuchsia, add it to your garden. If you want something a little bit different, a native that really is a show pony in flower, invest in this plant in your property. The native holly, Graptophyllum ilicifolium. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription. My name is Paul Plant, and this is Paul Plant Horticulture YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching.